Hello, welcome to today's yoga flow. We're going to focus on opening up the shoulders today through a short practice just to get things moving when you feel like your shoulders might be a little bit stuck. So, to begin, come to a seated position on your mat and take a few breaths to center yourself. Taking a deep breath in and a long, slow breath out. Exhale anything that's not in this moment with you. Center your mind inward, looking into your body and seeing how you feel right now. It's okay if there might be some pain or soreness in your body. Just bring attention to it. And if you'd like to join me for an Om, take a deep breath in and prepare to chant. Om. Welcome. All right, let's begin. So, we're going to come down and start really easy in a child's pose. Stretch out your back and see how it feels. Pull your fingertips forwards. You can walk them forwards and get a more active stretch with child's pose. Keep your shoulders engaged, your hands off the mat. Or if this is too much pressure in your back, first thing to start with. Oh, I just got a little pop there. If it's too much to start with, just relax. Just try to melt your heart down into the mat. Fold your knees down. Rest your head gently. And release any tension. And from here, pull your hands back and push up into our tabletop position, where we'll do some cat and cow movements. The cat movement is when we arch our back and exhale, and the cow movement is when we push our belly down, shoulders back, head and chin up, and we inhale. So we'll go ahead and start with the inhale after a long, slow exhale in a neutral position. So take a breath and exhale, and inhale into our cow position. And exhale into our cat position. And inhale into cow. And exhale into cat. Inhale into cow. And exhale into cat. When you're doing these inhales, focus on dropping the belly, raising the chin, and feeling a stretch up through your chest and belly. And when you exhale, you're really arching your shoulders up, really pressing your sternum upwards, compacting your belly and pushing all the air out. Inhale and exhale. Now return to a neutral position where we'll do some side twisting. So it's kind of similar to cat and cow, except we're going back and forth. And we're keeping our stomach slightly engaged this whole time, so we keep the support. You can tuck your toes, you can hold them up and stretch your toes like this if you'd like. And just start to wiggle your spine back and forth. From one side to the other, you can introduce a little bit of a almost snake-like flow to it, where you give yourself a wiggle going from the crown of your head down to the tip of your tailbone. And you see how much flexibility and movement you have in your spine for this sideways motion. A little bit of side bending involved. And from here, we're going to keep that movement pretty active. We'll take our head and we'll start doing some neck circles, big circles with your head. And you can continue to move your spine around as you do these big circles. And then we'll do the circles with our neck in the opposite way. Try to inhale as your neck and your head comes up, and exhale as it goes down. And now you might be feeling a little bit dizzy or something after that, but come back to a centered position. And now we're going to kind of combine these movements, and we're going to make a full circle with our back and our spine. So you can focus on your belly coming down and then out to the right side first, and then back up, and then out to the left side, and then back down. And we'll do these rotations in the same kind of breath sequence as we would with cat and cow. And so we'll inhale and drop our belly and lift up our neck and head. And then slowly start to move to the right side, and then exhale as we start to curve our back. And then push to the left side and inhale as we start to drop our belly. So we push to the right and begin to exhale. Reach the peak with our exhale. Push to the left and begin inhaling. Try to keep your engagement in your hands and your toes throughout this exercise. Stay aware of all of the tips of where your body goes to. And the next time you drop your belly down, we're going to reverse direction. So inhale to the other way. We're going left first, then arch your back, and then we're going to go to the right, and then down. And do that with an inhale coming down, exhale up, inhale down, exhale up, inhale down, exhale up, inhale down. And then come back to your neutral tabletop position. Kind of see how maybe your whole spine feels a lot more loose, opened up after that. And then we'll take our right hand and we'll inhale. Ooh, that pop on the shoulder. We'll lift up to the right. Do the motion like you're screwing in a light bulb because my shoulder just popped like crazy, so gotta get some extra stretch in there. And then take that arm down and exhale. And we're gonna thread the needle. Push your arm through your elbow underneath your armpit. Tuck it down. Rest your shoulder on the ground. Put some pressure with your left palm against the mat. And twist into your shoulder region. And feel the stretch kind of extending all the way from your right arm up your right shoulder into your left shoulder. And take some deep breaths here. Feel free to close your eyes and just turn inwards to see and to feel exactly where this stretch is occurring in your back. It may be different and it may change from time to time. But part of the practice that we're doing is to build our awareness of these subtle changes through our body as we keep with our daily routines and daily movements. The awareness is what we're focusing on building. On the next exhale, go ahead and press up. Lift your right arm up to the sky again. Oh, and reverse that stretch. Maybe do a little bit of a screw in the light bulb motion again. Do a wrist roll. And then bring your hand back down to the mat. Notice how your right feels compared to your left. And now we'll do the same thing on the left. So we open up our left hand, we reach up. We maybe do this screwing in a light bulb motion. Wrist rolls. Finger grasp. And then we thread the needle to the other side. And if you get some pops like I do, it's perfectly okay. It's normal. It's just your body shifting lines of tension, maybe gradually loosening. You take some deep breaths here. And in positions like this, I like to really connect with the ground. You're basically embracing Mother Earth, and isn't it interesting that you kind of feel like you're listening for a heartbeat in this position, with your ear to the ground? Have a little fun with that. And on an exhale, press up again into our tabletop, and then drop your forearms down to the ground. And we'll do our puppy pose. So melt your heart forward and try to reach towards the edge of your mat, maybe a little bit off. Try to melt your heart down to the ground, down to the earth. If you keep your chin up, you'll notice a nice stretch through your chest and pectoral region as well. As your back and shoulders. And from here, we'll bring our arms back into elbows on the ground. We'll tuck our toes and we'll press up into a dolphin pose, which is like downward dog except our elbows are on the ground. And from here, start pressing out your legs. Give a nice stretch there. And then hold the pose. And notice how it's a lot different feeling than downward dog. And from here, we'll press up into a downward dog, or we form the full triangle, mountain pose, as some call it. And we'll hold this for a few breaths. So inhale deeply and exhale, and focus on pulling your tailbone up to the sky and pressing your head down between your arms to really get this deep stretch, especially the head down between the arms for the shoulder region. And from here, come back to our tabletop position, and then we'll go into a camel pose. So we'll start by leaning back or sitting in hero's pose. And we'll begin to lean back gradually, testing our limits of how far we can go. We're focusing on opening up in this pose the pectoral region, which connects your shoulder to your chest. And more often than not, if you have some tight back pains and tensions, you'll realize that working the front side of your body and opening up your chest and your heart center and poking into this muscle here, the pectoralis, major and minor, that connect into your shoulder to cause this movement. You'll notice that that's what leads to the hunched shoulders, is actually when you have very tight pecs. So if you release your pecs, your shoulders will come back and you'll experience less shoulder pain back here because the tightened muscle in the front isn't actually causing the shoulders to be pulled too hard, which is what causes the pain. So after we've explored kind of our range here, we're going to push up into the full pose. So standing on your knees and leaning back to grab one heel at a time. And then pressing your chest forward. Open heart, open shoulders. Take some deep breaths. And then we'll pull ourselves up slowly. And immediately from here, we come down into a child's pose, so we don't put too much strain or stress on our low back. Take a few deep breaths. Notice how you feel compared to the beginning of the practice. It's been a very short practice, just designed to warm up and loosen our shoulders and our back. And maybe this has helped relieve you of some discomfort today. And you'll go into the rest of your day feeling loose and light. And you can choose to stay in Balasana for longer if you'd like. But if you come to a seat with me, we'll chant one Om together to close the practice. So go ahead and close your eyes and prepare to chant with me. Om. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Namaste.